Hello and welcome everybody to another Powered Cube Draft video. I'm Paul Cheon and today we are sitting at rank 370. Yeah, so we have been going on a little bit of a slump recently. I mean, we did go 4 and 3 in the last video, but I want to go back to my winning ways. I want to get back into the double digits here if possible, and it all starts in this draft right here. Now, before we hop into this draft, I did want to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Go to TCGplayer.com for all your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. If you want to buy some booster boxes of Strixhaven or Ninja Turtles, or singles for your constructed decks, check out TCGplayer.com and make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Also go to HeavyPlay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. They are your one-stop shop for top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, life pads, all that utilize a special magnetic technology so that all their products snap conveniently into place. Go to HeavyPlay.com/paulcheon to get 10% off your first order. All right. How are we going to start today's draft? Lots of ways, lots of ways. Okay, so we have Force of Will, Oko Thief of Crowns as I think the two best cards in the pack. Duress, Go for the Throat, Snapcaster Mage. I mean, these are all fine cards. And then Overlord of the Mistmoors. Even Legend of Yang Chen, I think, is better than I gave it credit for initially. But those are all fine cards. But I think for me, I think just starting out Force of Will is nice. Just being able to make sure that you have some kind of answer to your opponent's broken cards. Because there's so many bad cards in this version of the cube. Having just the right timed counterspell for one of their good cards can be really nice. And it's a single colored card. Whereas Oko, of course, commits you into going into blue and green. So let's go ahead and take Force and move on. Pack 1, Pick 2 gives us access to Underground Sea, which is a good mana fixer. There's Dak Faden, there's Subtlety, and then a couple of green cards and a couple of red cards here for removal. Now, if I'm looking to take a red card, I'm probably leaning towards taking the Dak Faden, just because it's a solid Planeswalker to play early. Obviously, stealing artifacts is nice, and it's a blue card to pitch to the Force of Will. But the Subtlety keeps us a little more open. You know, Subtlety could potentially be a little bit better, but Dak Faden is a little bit more fun. So let's take Dak Faden. This leads to more potential blowouts, but we'll note that, like, if you can't really utilize your graveyard that well, I mean, just double looting every turn, it's fine, but it's not insane. All right, Pack 1, Pick 3, what do we have? A bunch of just okay cards here. We have Consider, Mishra's Bauble, Treasure Cruise, all as options. I think Lockmire is just okay. And then there's also Prop's Eidetic Memory, but I think some of these other spells are better. And then there's also Raucous Theater if I wanted to take, for example, a Grixis land. But I think I'm just going to stay the course here and take one of these blue cards. Consider, Cruise, or Mishra's Bauble. Yeah, let's go ahead and take the Bauble. Take something cheap here. And then see if we can pick up something like a Treasure Cruise later on. I just think it's a little bit early for Treasure Cruise. There's a lot of cards in this format that you can cast that utilize a lot of your cards in your graveyard, and you don't want to overdo them. So I think it's better to be able to pick up all the cheap things that can fill up your graveyard first, and then you can pick up an Abhorrent Oculus, a Dig Through Time, or a Dak Faden. I feel like if you're really looking for it, you can probably pick a copy of one of those up. All right, Pack 1, Pick 4, fairly weak pack. There are some good green things you can potentially do. There's Sylvan Safekeeper, of course, that would be good with Titania. Greaves would be good with Nadu. So some green cards, but for us, we can take Wasteland. There's Kolaghan's Command, not particularly well set up here for an upheaval. So for me, it's like, do I want to take Wasteland just as a decent disruptive land, or do I want to take K Command and try to move into Grixis? To be fair, to be honest, rather, I am a pretty big fan of Kolaghan's Command in general as a card, so I'm going to take it. It's a fun card to play with. Gonna take this and then just kind of see where this goes. All right, easy Fable of the Mirror Breaker. This pack must have been absolutely loaded. There's still a Sage of the Skies, Esper Sentinel Malcolm. There's still a bunch of good playable cards, and this is pick 5. But Fable is one of the better non-powered cube cards in the entire cube, so very, very happy to pick it up here. Sage of the Sky is also really, really nice, but yeah. Very, very happy with this current configuration. Pack 1, Pick 6. More green cards that I don't care for. There's a Preacher of the Schism and a Fear of Missing Out. Not really a Mystical Tutor deck. This is something that you're more interested in playing in an Unfair deck. And we have Starting Town. You know, I kind of want to lean towards being a little bit more proactive here. I think I'm going to take FOMO here over Starting Town. Like, I don't care if I am not going to splash the K command. But for me, I just think it's, you know, we're looking to fuel up our graveyard. Getting Delirium actually doesn't seem too hard with Dak, Fable, and Mishra's Bauble. Let's go ahead and take the Fear of Missing Out here. That's a GT, pack 1, pick 7. Bird of Paradise. Again, green is very, very open, but I have been tricked. I have been tricked and I have been hurt, and I don't want to be hurt anymore. All right, so what do I want to take? There's a GT, a Pyrite Spellbomb, Nova Spelk, Nova Hellkite, and an Ether Spellbomb. All fine options. I think I'm inclined to take one of the Spellbombs. I'm just not sure which one. Yeah, let's go with Pyrite Spellbomb. I don't really have that many ways to kill things right now. Also noting, I mean, there is a world where we can do some artifact shenanigans. We'll see. Oh, there's a Kaito. There's also Pinnacle Emissary, but I don't know that I'm necessarily leaning into artifact stuff. There's also Pinnacle Emissary here that I could consider in a Shelldock Isle, but I will note that my mana is not great, so like something like a Kaito would be a little bit speculative. But I do like Kaito a lot as a card, so let's take it. Maybe we can do some Grixis shenanigans. Elvish Mystic last pick. Nothing here really. I mean, I guess there's still a world where we could go like red, black, splash, blue, in which case maybe Collective Brutality is a fine playable card. I just am not interested in any of the white cards. So let's go ahead and take it. Pack 1, pick 10 gives us Otawara and Burst Lightning. I think I'm just going to take Otawara. Spell lands are always at a premium, and I do love playing them in general. Here we have Consider and Prof's Eidetic Memory. Let's take Profs. We actually have a lot of ways to draw cards. So I think this can be a pretty good way to put counters on things like Fable, Dak, Fear Missing Out, Bobble, Cycle Pyrite, Spellbomb. So I think there's enough there. Even Kaito, but you know, I will also make sure that I consider the fact that like I might not be able to splash the black, given that just we have a lack of mana fixing. Somebody might be trying to do 5-color shenanigans, in which case we should just lean into more of like a blue-red tempo deck here if possible. There was a Treasure Cruise, a Subtlety. Those are some interesting cards. I don't think any of those are tabling, though. Let's take a Talisman or Moonshadow. I guess I'll take Moonshadow again if there's like a world where we shift over to like some kind of Rakdos aggro deck. Wow, that is a super late Sage of the Sky. So just nobody doing this. Sage is one of the better creatures in the Boros aggro decks. I mean, we'll take Seasoned Pyromancer. This is just a good card, so I'm happy enough with that personally. But yeah, it does look like people are uninterested in doing green aggro or artifacts or white aggro for that matter. All right, pack 2, pick 1. What do we have? There is a Strip Mine and an Expressive Iteration. Those are both quite good. Cryptic Command's a little hard to cast. Screaming Nemesis is a fine card. For me, do I want the card draw effect of the iteration, or do I just want to take the Strip Mine? I think given that this might be looking to be an aggressive deck, a Strip Mine is also just a really powerful spell. I think I'm going to take that. Well, not a spell, but a land. You know what I mean. Strip Mine strong, okay? You can't go too wrong by taking a first pick Strip Mine. All right, pack 2, pick 2. There is a Lorien Revealed, which is always nice. Legend of Kuruk. There's a Time Twister, although my deck doesn't really do anything with Time Twister, so I don't think I should take that. This just, I don't know. I mean, this deck doesn't seem that well set up for it, noting that it is good with Prof's Eidetic Memory. How good is the Legend of Kuruk? I think I'm just going to take Lorien Revealed. Like I said, Time Twister is still fine, but this pitches to Force of Will. I mean, so do all these other cards, but if I can pick up a blue-red land, that'll also be really nice just to make sure that I can fix my mana and give me something to do in the late game. So let's go ahead and take that. Although, if we took the Time Twister, we could have taken this Narset. I still think I'm taking this Narset, but Narset Time Twister would have been nice. But Lorien Revealed is also good, especially because it looks like our mana fixing is going to be pretty bad. So I'm really going to be on the lookout for a blue-red land, and then the Lorien Revealed will also help us with that. Here we're going to take a very easy Lightning Bolt. Actually kind of light on interaction. We have a Pyrite Spellbomb, a Lightning Bolt, and I guess an Otawara. And again, this also helps if I can pick up like a blue-black land as well, for example. Yeah, maybe I should have taken Time Twister. I mean, it's got more upside. But, I mean, we were like a couple picks into pack 2. I didn't really have any, Hull Breacher type effects or anything. So I just took the card that's like always going to be good in my deck. Whereas the Time Twister, it's got higher upside, but unclear. But with Prof's Eidetic Memory and Narset now, kind of wish I had it. All right, Gristlebrand, all the Reanimator cards. I'm going to take Xander's Lounge. Memory Jar, Pest Infestation, just nothing really for us. Path to Exile, Detective's Phoenix, Mother of Runes, yeah. I mean, all the aggro stuff, some reanimation stuff. We are definitely in a somewhat contested lane, but, well, I mean, red getting that Fable really late, though. But yeah, Xander's Lounge is nice. I mean, obviously, I would love a blue-red untapped land, but to at least have a blue-red land to fetch with Lorien Revealed is nice. Also, this gives us more outs to being able to splash the black cards here on the right. Pack 2, pick 6, there is Enduring Curiosity and a Spire Bluff Canal. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the mana fixing. The Enduring Curiosity looks okay. We don't have a billion creatures. And like I said, our mana is kind of weak right now. So let's go ahead and take the Spire Bluff Canal. All right, pack 2, pick 7. I guess we take the Dig Through Time here. We didn't take the Treasure Cruise, and there's nothing really here for us outside of that. So I think this will be our big graveyard eat card. We have... it is very, very easy to put a bunch of cards into our graveyard in this deck with Bauble, Spell Bombs, Lorien Revealed, Fable, Dax, Seasoned Pyromancer. Pack 2, pick 8. There is a Creeping Tar Pit, but I'm on the lookout for interaction, and so we only have the Lightning Bolt and Pyrite Spell Bomb. I have nothing to tinker, so Creeping Tar Pit would be interesting, but I think I'm just going to take Suplex just as a need that this deck has for more cheap interaction. Pack 2, pick 9. All right, Expressive Iteration Table. Very, very happy with that. Super Shredder, also a strong card, but not so much on the splash. But it looks like we have a pretty nice base here to a blue-red deck. Certainly could use more ways to actually close out the game. So we'll be looking for that. All right, pack 2, pick 10. There is a Foreboding Landscape and a Figure of Destiny. Do I really want to play this in just for blue-black? I don't think so. I'm just going to take Figure. I'm probably not going to play this, honestly, but if I need a random creature, it can fill that role. We're all the decent 2-mana plays, right? Nia, Evora, Inti. I mean, those are things I'm looking for here. I'll take Vibrance. Look, a bad FTK is still an FTK, and I certainly have room in my 5-mana slot for something. So even though you can't use the green ability, if you have a lot of red mana in your deck, this is still a totally fine card to play. Bitter Bloom Bearer, too hard to cast. Golos, I guess I'll take Golos. I'm not going to play the Golos, though. Golos for Strip Mine seems not that great. Here, we'll take a Batter Skull, too, I guess. Again, cards I don't want. Enduring Curiosity, I will play, though. So, yeah, and given what I see here right now, it's really unlikely that we end up splashing the black. So this is kind of our configuration here right now. We have a lot of double blue and double red cards. So I'm happy with my decision to take the Spire Bluff Canal and the Lorien Revealed into Xander's Lounge. Our mana's hopefully going to be good enough to be able to support this blue-red mana base. Pack 3, pick 1 gives us Flooded Strand, which I think I'm going to take. It's a nice way to put a card into our graveyard, and it does get us another blue-red land. And we're not missing out on too much here. There's an Oculus, but we did pick up that Dig Through Time as a graveyard devouring type effect. If I table the Nuisance or the Abhorrent Oculus, I would be happy, of course, but let's just shore up our mana here with the Flooded Strand. All right, pack 3, pick 2. There's a counterspell here and 3 steps ahead, but fairly straightforward. Galvanic Discharge here for us. I mean, Blood Crypt if you wanted to splash the black, but Galvanic Discharge just gives us another good, cheap, interactive spell. So now we have Discharge, Lightning Bolt, Pyrite Spellbomb, and Vibrance. Of course, Pyrite Spellbomb I don't have to play, but Galvanic Discharge is just really, really good. By the way, it also hits Planeswalkers, and that can be relevant as well. All right, we do need a way to win. That's a Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, but I'm not really super well set up to splash it. I guess I have a Flooded Strand, and I can play a Plains. There's an Astrologian's Planisphere. There's a Watery Grave. There's a Skull Clamp, but I don't really have that many creatures. There's an Urza Saga, but I don't have that many artifacts. All right, well, you know what? Let's go back, actually. Let's take the Watery Grave, because now that we picked up the Flooded Strand, but now that we have the Watery Grave with the Lorien Revealed, that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4 black sources? This then opens the door for us to be able to actually play Kaito, which I think is very strong, and then also the K command if we need. So let's go ahead and put that back into the mix and go to this pack here, which has Dragon's Rage Chandler, which looks decent. Glorybringer's fine. I'm not going to Ancient Tomb in this deck. But there's also Arid Mesa, which, what does that get us? It gets us Mountain or Xander's Lounge. So it makes our mana fixing even better. But I think I'm in the market just for another good cheap threat. So let's go ahead and take Dragon's Rage Chandler. This deck has a lot of spells, so we're going to hit Delirium pretty often with this, and it's going to help us smooth out our draws. And I think it's a really solid 1-drop here as well. All right, pack 3, pick 5. We have Kitesail Larcenist versus Tishana's Tidebinder. There's also Grim Lavamancer. I think I'm just going to take Grim Lavamancer. I have so many 3s, and like I have lots of ways to build up my graveyard, so just having this in my deck just seems quite nice. Here, there is Mana Confluence, Stoke the Flame, Chrome Host Seed Shark, and Chain Lightning. Can't go wrong with Chain Lightning, really. Just another good, cheap, interactive spell. All right, Vivi versus Goldspan Dragon. That's a real pick. I mean, I think I'm kind of on Team Goldspan. I just need something big to just like close out games and give me some mana fixing if it's hard to kill. And I have a lot of 3-drops, so I certainly have room in my curve for Goldspan Dragon. I know Vivi is like busted in Standard, but I don't think it's as good in Sealed. All right, Magda versus Fallen Shinobi. I kind of need a 2-drop. Let's just take the Magda. K-Command is good. We can cut the Pyrite Spellbomb. 3/6. This is 23. Actually, I guess we have room for another playable, so we can consider it. Because we have... You want to put Lorien Revealed in the land slot, so you can play 17 lands with the Lorien Revealed. Oh, we really haven't drafted a deck like this before. Oh, Abhorrent Oculus. Bunch of white lands. If we picked up the Teferi, that would have been nice. But I guess I'll take the Oculus. So now I have to like cut basically between Grim Lavamancer, Oculus, and Dig Through Time. I do need to cut one of those cards. Like I don't feel comfortable playing all 3. But which one will it be? I'm not a stern scolding believer. I'll just take Planisphere. I mean, we do have a fair number of spells. Hey, Glorybringer? Yeah, I mean, I'll play that. Bloodtide Harvester is a stronger card in a Rakdos deck, but this is a deck that's looking to probably just splash the black. I mean, honestly, I don't need to splash the black. I actually picked up plenty of playables here. Like, adding a splash just adds another level of inconsistency to your deck, which, if you can avoid it, you should in a lot of instances. So I don't know if this is worth. This is 46 cards. Let's see what we're working with. No, I don't like that setup here. Also, please don't mind. I'm getting used to my new monitor. I bought a 32-inch curved monitor, and it is ginormous. So now I'm like moving all over the place here. It's nice, though. I do like it. So shout out Warren for the recommendation. All right, let's put this here. Okay, so yeah, our spell count is super high. These are our current win conditions. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So lots of creatures. And yeah, because of I have all this double red, double black, I think, yeah, I'm just going to cut the black. So we can cut the Watery Grave and the Swamp. Xander's Lounge I'm still going to play to be able to fetch for a blue-red land. 4, 5, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Another blue. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blue. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 red. And we have just as much red and blue. So, yeah, 10 blue, 10 red seems totally fine here. All right, so of the Graveyard Eat cards, I think I'm going to cut the Grim Lavamancer. I have a lot of ways to deal, like, damage to things, right? In Chain Lightning, Discharge, Lightning Bolt, etc. And so I think the Oculus is like a nice way to potentially close out the games. I mean, that being said, I could potentially cut that as well. Tishana's Tidebinder, Planisphere, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then maybe one of these 5s are things to consider. I like the rest of kind of my spell power. Oh, Stoke the Flames as well. So plenty of options here. All right, Stoke the Flames I don't need. I think I need this just as a 2-drop. All right, let's get the Tidebinder in here for some more cheap interaction. Oculus is more like a 5-drop. So yeah, I think I should definitely cut one of these 5s. I think I like Glorybringer a little bit more than Goldspan Dragon. I mean, I can get the mana, but now that I'm not splashing, it's not as relevant. And this actually kills something. This kills something, and this also just wins me the game. So let's cut Goldspan Dragon, and yeah, I mean, we haven't drafted this type of deck that often, like a blue-red tempo deck. It says we have 9 creatures here, but remember, we also have the Planisphere and Fable of the Mirror Breaker, so 11 creatures, bunch of ways to cycle, some disruption. All right. Looks cool. Let's give it a whirl. All right, now before round 1 starts, I did want to say that if you've been enjoying this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Big shout out to all the patrons here. Really do appreciate your support. Access to the Patreon gives you access to my Discord channel, which I believe is a really great way to join a wonderful group of folks who are also looking to up their limited game. Lots of limited talks, lots of passionate people about all things draft. If you want to take your game to the next level, check it out. All right, gonna keep this. No red sources here, but we have Bauble, Spellbomb, so that should be able to find us what we need. Do I just strip them? Yeah, I'm just gonna strip them. There's always the chance that, like, you just completely get your opponent with this, right? And, you know, obviously, they could have led with like a dual land or something, but I have 2 lands here, and I have more other ways to cycle. So they have another mountain on top, so this strategy did not work. But it didn't really change anything, right? So it was kind of like a free roll. Like, there's a chance that it gets them, right? And if it doesn't, I mean, that's fine as well. Let's kill the Evora here. Imagine I wait, and then they, like, land cycle and sacrifice a blood. That would be an absolute disaster. But playing against a blue-red mirror. And they got the loot tree, which I don't love. So, but you know what I do love? Fable of the Mirror Breaker. So let's get that down, put some pressure on the opponent. I mean that is the I mean I don't really need to go on about why this card is so awesome, but I just might. Ooh, Pinnacle Emissary, never mind, not a mirror. They are doing some artifact shenanigans. Legion Extruder on the Goblin Shaman. Very, very nice turn there for the opponent. Zurin Orb? Okay, never mind. This is absolutely not the mirror. I don't know what this is, but the mirror it is not. I'm trying to figure out what I need to do here. I mean, I'm certainly pitching an island. Do I want to discard the Tidebinder? I think so. I just want to find more action, fill up my graveyard. This requires 1 more card in my yard. Can just play Narset. Find some action. Suplex seems very good. I know there's an expressive iteration, and that's nice and all, but Suplex seems great. Especially if this is what they're trying to do. Like, what are they going to do with Zurin Orb? Crucible, Fast Bond? I don't know. There's an island. Maybe they're splashing green for safe... No, not Safekeeper. Maybe it's just a free artifact to play in your blue-red artifact shell, right? That's certainly possible. Okay, so they're digging. Hey, so the strip mine actually doing some... Oh, Narset! Yes! People always forget. People always forget about the Narset. Alright, 3 cards in hand for the opponent. I do have the ability to play this Oculus. The question is with what? Like, do I want to go Discharge Emissary? Because Suplex kills artifacts? I think I do. Yeah, I want to save the artifact effect, and I'm going to save the Vibrance because I can cast it. So for that reason, let's go with Discharge. Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, no! Are you kidding me right now? Alright, I have an energy. Holy smokes. Well, if you want to see high-level Magic the Gathering play, this is not the channel. Oh my gosh. How the hell do I even do that? All right. That's unbelievable. There's just a free Pinnacle Emissary in play. Son of a gun.
You are a mighty warrior. I can see.
I cannot believe I did that. All right, well. You better believe it, Paul. Okay, well, let's hopefully recover from this. We still have an Oculus, and it's been on the board. We just hit Dragon's Rage Channeler, which currently is at three types in the graveyard. We can Prophytic Memory, we can copy things, we can copy the Vibrance, we can copy the Oculus, just to get in for a lot of damage. Astrologian's Planisphere, I don't care too much about. Okay, so they're just like artifact shenanigans. I mean, I feel pretty good about this board. Of course. Gotta get the 1 point of damage in. Do what you gotta do. Lightning Bolt. That is an exciting draw. Does this sack another artifact? Okay. I have 3 types. So before blocks, I think they're going to sack an artifact here. So I think what I can do, or I can kind of force it, I guess, and do this, but I kind of don't care about that so much. And then how are they going to block? It's fine. Probably double block the Vibrance. Interesting. Okay, sure. So they have to sack a land now here too, to the Zern Orb, and we still have Suplex and Magda up. Okay. Alright, so they're down to 2. We have 3 lethal creatures. Granted, they do have a Zern Orb. But we have a Suplex as well to deal with whatever they might find. And let us manifest Dak Faden in case they bounce it. Nexus of Becoming. That's a really good Suplex target. I wonder why they play the land first. Batter Skull? Okay. What is this? I mean, they're just dead, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Disaster averted. Again, I do not know what I was thinking with that Galvanic Blast. I think I'm good for like a really big brain fart, like once every 2 or 3 videos. Which is not good. It's a sign of age. We'll just blame it on age. Young Paul would never have made that mistake. But the nice thing is, the viewers, I check who watched this stuff. You can relate, right? Mind not quite as sharp as you used to be. You know, once you kind of hit the 40s, you're like, wait, did I lock my door? Did I Did I put the clothes in the dry? You know what I mean? It's just like those things. Although this one was way worse because all I needed to do was just... I wanted to deal 3 damage, but... whatever. Alright, on the play here. Absolutely keeping this. Nothing cheap to play, but I do have a turn 3 Seasoned Pyromancer, Prop's Eidetic Memory, and a Force of Will. So all very, very good. In fact, I probably am just not gonna cycle the Lorien Revealed here. Keep that as a blue card for the Force of Will if I absolutely need. And then, you know, I already have 3 lands, right? So it's not like I need the lands. I just realized that my board looks completely ridiculous. I'm gonna have to fix this after this game, though. And this is a byproduct of the new monitor. Whoops. My bad, folks. We're gonna save all of this, but yeah, this was obviously not the intention here. So we're now Prop's Eidetic Memory. I just noticed when I looked at the camera to the left, I noticed that I only see the top of Cloud's head. So I gotta fix this. Alright, Grim Monolith, we're gonna let resolve. Yeah, I tried to quickly fix it, I wasn't able to, so let's just deal with it later. Let's go Seasoned Pyromancer. Discard, Island and DRC. Let's put a counter here and pass. Or put counters there. I wanted to definitely discard 2 cards there. And again, I have Force of Will plus Lorien Revealed. And I want to be able to cast this Dig Through Time now. FOMO would be pretty nice too. FOMO works well with the Prop's Eidetic Memory. Alright. I think everything's good. I fit to screen. I really apologize about that, folks. And I knew something was going to happen. This always happens whenever I, like, change a piece of equipment. And certainly the case here. Toxic Deluge here for 3. For 3. 5 cards in hand. I want to put maximum pressure here. Gut. Do not care about that one at all. So now we have FOMO, which I can play. Let's go ahead and use that to discard Narset. Okay. We can put a counter here and attack. And then now I have Delirium for the FOMO, which is great. I have Fable and Tidebinder in hand. I'm actually very close to casting Dig Through Time here as well. Yeah, I went from a 28-inch monitor, I believe, to a 32. And yeah, it kind of like changed everything. And the resolution is also very, very different. All right, 5 cards in hand for the opponent. Some Grim Monolith, Deluge, Gut shenanigans. Fatal Push on FOMO. Little Grixis Gut action. Look at this. Beating down. Okay. Alright, we have a land here. So I'm going to play it. I'm going to hit them for 6. And then I'm just going to keep up Dig Through Time / Tidebinder at this point. Just no... I think playing Fable is like a little bit weaker. Like, this might end up being super relevant depending on what they play. Although, admittedly, this is quite nice as well. Just because I can add 2 +1/+1 counters off the Prop's Eidetic Memory. Well, let's just counter the deck. Okay. They're at 5. What do I want to do now? The thing is, they're going to be able to kill the Tidebinder and then turn on the deck. Do I care about that? I think I do. Interesting. They didn't block with the Gut? What the hell? Okay. So I have 5 cards in the graveyard. Let's go Fable. And then I'm going to play the land here because if they kill my Tidebinder to unlock their Dak Fade-In, then I can go dig through time end of turn. And given that they didn't block my Tidebinder, that's an indication that they're going to kill this and then activate the deck. Or that's at least my assumption here. Alright, opponent on Soul Guide Lantern here, exiling FOMO. What the heck? It's really good against dig through time, but they're just digging here, so that's fine. Alright. Another kind of fair blue-red victory here. Just solid cards, interaction, some pressure, getting it done. We will absolutely take it here. Alright, 2-0 with good resolution now, hopefully. Alright, opponent on the play. We have Lightning Bolt, Island, Strip Mine, Oculus, Curiosity, and Iteration. Absolutely keeping this. Can lead with Lightning Bolt to deal with their creature into Strip Mine or Iteration, we'll see. I mean, I guess I can just kill this Temple Garden too. Yeah, why don't we just do that? Anytime you can get a dual land, it's always good sign. And, you know, especially because they're on the play and we have 3 lands. Like, they could have easily kept some kind of a sketchy hand. Alright, Mountain, and then I also have... Ooh. It's actually kind of interesting, but the thing is, I don't really have any other good land to get other than the blue-black-red land. I think I'd rather be able to cast Lightning Bolt here. So let's just play the Mountain. Like, they play Temple Garden. That's got greed in it. That's a good indication that they probably have creatures, right? And so Flooded Strand doesn't get me an untapped red source. So let's just lead with Mountain here instead. And, you know, we can fetch this for an island and get the Oculus going at some point too. Their mana is amazing, by the way. Alright, so now we can go ahead and play the Flooded Strand. And with the Iteration, you generally want to wait so that you can get two cards out of this. So you almost never play Iteration on turn 2. I think what you want to do is play it so that you can hit a land off the Iteration. So, alright. Well, the Strip Mine was okay, but their mana is amazing. Tropical, like, everything is a stupid dual land. What am I supposed to do? And that thing has 4 toughness. What am I supposed to do? I guess just cry? I can cry. I wish I could have had this one. Ugh, I didn't hit a land off of this, so that's really unfortunate. I gotta keep the Force. Which one do I want to draw? Props, probably. Let's exile the Planisphere. Play a Mountain and pass. A less than ideal Iteration, but still fine, I guess. If I force something, what am I going to force? Probably Dig Through Time. Because I want to be able to play the Oculus over to dig, I think. So 4 cards in yard. Lightning Bolt doesn't do anything. So we're going to wait. That's a Vibrance. I mean, I could kill the Nadu, but they would draw 2 cards and I wouldn't have a board. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to play Enduring Curiosity end of turn. Their deck looks sweet, though. Just, like, really great mana. And this person could have been in my draft, by the way. This is why we didn't see that very many lands. It's possible, you know? How do you get mana this good? 3 fetch lands. My question is, like, do you have enough good playables? I mean, I guess all the theory is every card in Cube is good, so you just play all of them. Yeah, I mean, we're super dead now. This sucks, because, like, I really want to play the Curiosity, but I don't want them to have another 5/3. So it's a really, really tough spot here to be in. I think we just let it resolve, sure. All right, what do I want to do? Man, I'm not actually going to have enough here to be able to play the Oculus, huh? Yeah, so let's just... Lightning Bolt to 5-3. God, Nadu is gross. Oh, Zern Orb Titania? That's a thing. Alright. I'm at 12 life, by the way. If they go like Mightform Harmonizer Fetchland, I'm probably dead. My deck of all Lightning Bolts, unsurprisingly, struggles against Nadu. Alright, look, if you got 4 Fetchlands in your deck, it's good beats. Also, Nadu plus Mightform Harmonizer is very good, so... Okay, they don't have it, that's good. Just Zern Orb? Swords to Plowshares? You jerk! Galvanic Discharge, another 3 damage effect. I'm gonna keep the land in my hand because I have various rummaging effects. Ooh. We had a Glorybringer. Hey! Glorybringer, by the way, kills Nadu. Just so you know. So that's something. I exert it. Regrowth Swords to Plowshares. You jerk! Why are you such a jerk? Can you explain this? Are they like, man, this land, it could be anything. This face down card, it could be anything. I better Swords the face down card and not the 5/5 flyer that makes a 2/2 every turn. Mox Pearl, sure. Just flexing on us, you know? Zern Orb, okay. What do I even kill? I'm assuming I'm supposed to kill the Nadu, right? Oh gosh. Spring Heart Nantuko. Yep. Badger Mole Cub. Okay. That technically doesn't give them... You need to tap for green there. That technically doesn't give them the toe. Oh no, they have something else. Which is less than ideal. Why are they sacrificing lands? Are they about to balance me? It feels like a balance, doesn't it? Okay, this is definitely balance. Yeah, well, I guess no lands for me. Or no lands for them either, so... Okay. Interesting. So I can actually discharge my own creature to kill one of theirs, and I actually think that's worth it. I'd rather not target their creature, you know what I mean? Now I do too. So now they have to sack either the Nantuko or the Mightform Harmonizer. Okay, and then they can Swords my Oculus. I mean, I'm still dead to the stupid Mightform Harmonizer. Unless I can find a way to deal with this thing. Okay. Oh my gosh, fetch land? Come on now. Oh, did they not have a green land to fetch? Wait, why didn't... Wait. Okay, well. Okay, we're dead. Alright. Good beats. Hey, look. They had a nice... That is a nice green deck. Good job, Urds. Is it Urds? ERDS? Urds? I don't know. Really cool deck, though. I mean, green was open in our draft, too, but... I don't know. The issue with trying to draft the green decks is, like... You need to make sure that it's open. If it's not, you're going to have a bad time. The one time we did, we went 2 and 3. We had an okay deck, but like we didn't get any of the mana dorks. There were like 2 other green drafters at the table, and then all of a sudden it's just going to be rough. All right, on the play here, going to keep this. 3 lands. We got Dak Faden, Seasoned Pyromancer, Glorybringer, and Dig Through Time. We do have 2 red. We have all the red sources we need. We need a second blue, but Presumably the Seasoned Pyromancer and the Dak Faden will get us there. Lead things off with Xander's Lounge. Turn 1 Talisman into Retrofitter. Well, that's incredible. Into Candelabra. Into Mox. Okay. I mean, what can you do, right? It's you just give them the old thumbs up. Good job. Okay, so they can cast like a ginormous artifact if they do have one in their hand. And if not, well, then we can, we can use the deck here. I'm going to just play deck and steal the Retrofitter. And they're just going to have nothing else to do. With their mana. Like, I can't really stop their mana. So might as well just take the thing that generates them a bunch of tokens. This is obviously going to kill the deck, but I'm okay with this. We still have the Retrofitter for mana, for things to do. But the thing is, like, this is still a really precarious spot because with the Mishra's Workshop and the Candelabra, again, they can just play anything huge. And they did. And look, like, sometimes you play against like, when I play these artifact decks, like, I just don't draw the End Stone or it's in my hand and I have no ramp. That has been my experience when I play the End Zone. What does it say? You put you to 10? Time Warp. Okay, 4, 5, 6. This is 8 damage. I'm just trying to figure out if I can deal like 10 damage to them on one turn. I mean, this is sweet what they're pulling off. Especially in a best of one setting, you just have to be able to dodge these. Like, decks like this are highly inconsistent and oftentimes don't do as well in a best of 3 setting. But you run into them and they have draws like this. GG. GG. Tinker? Broadside Bomber. Okay, well, we're not going to win this game. They time warp. They're drawing like their whole deck. All right. That was a really cool display of what you can do with Mishra's Workshop. Let's move on, okay? By the way, that's why I took that Force of Will first pick. To prevent shenanigans like that. Because look, imagine if I just force the End Stone, right? All of a sudden, they just have a bunch of mana and a time warp and it's not that big of a deal. So that's why you take the Force of Will to make sure you have protection. And that's why like Force of Will, Thoughtseize, cards of that nature are really good because it helps you beat some of the best draws against some of the degenerate decks in the format. All right. We are on the play once again. We have a totally fine, fair hand of Magic the Gathering cards. Turn 1 Expedition map. Our opponent trying to do less than fair things. Mountain on top. Here's my thought process. If you play Expedition map in your deck, it's probably really good. So I'm just going to kill it. It gets the Academy. Oh, man. It's just one of those days, you know what I mean? Just one of those days. All right, well, Wow, they just had the Academy? Sure. Dak Faden, yeah.
I hate to fight. I love to win. Information's almost as good as money.
Okay. We got Enduring Curiosity going, but they are going to be able to look at a bunch of cards here. Palantir of Orthanc. I don't really care about. I don't know. Wait, they should have just decked first. I think that was a mistake. It's just not good sequencing, right? Give yourself perfect information first, and then decide what your plays are going to be afterwards, right? Alright, so they discarded Ponder and Leyline Binding. We're going to take the damage here. Lose life. We take 1. Okay, no big deal. So here's my question. Like, do I want to draw cards? Or do I want to crank away at the deck Faden? I think I want to get this down to 1. The reason being is after I play the Fable of the Mirror Breaker, I should be able, like, now I have 2 things that can pressure the deck and kill it. Now, I'm not sure about playing that land. I do have Fable of the Mirror Breaker, but I also don't want to miss land drops. Wow, they discarded Treasure Cruise? Mox, Ruby. Okay, well, here we go. Whatever they're going to play this turn, it is not going to be good. What the hell? There's just no way they discarded Treasure Cruise and had nothing here, right? Okay, so 3 cards. Let's attack you. Let's attack you. I have the Pyrite Spellbomb, which is why I'm doing it this way. Swords to Plowshares on Enduring Curiosity. Sure. I mean, they let this attack, so I think this is going to be fine.
Time to cut my losses.
I'm just wondering what they have that made them not want the Treasure Cruise. Is it a counterspell? That seems a little too reactive. I mean, maybe it is, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's probably like a mana drain or something. Three steps ahead. Sure. Yeah, that was like, I think I would have Treasure Cruise there. Treasure Cruise is far too good. I mean, there's like a number of like questionable decisions here. But they have an Academy and a Mox and a bunch of good stuff going. Alright, let's play FOMO for free. This gets us the card for free, which is nice. And gonna crack this for more action, if possible. That is a Force of Will. I guess that counts. I'm not gonna play the land. Again, I have like some rummaging effects, I think. I have Dak Faden in my deck, and I have more than enough lands. Alright, 3 cards in hand for the opponent, and we have a decent board. Ugin, Eye of the Storm is obviously very, very good. We're going to force that, or attempt to. Alright, they still get to kill something. Sure. We're going to just take damage again. They top. Sure. Alright, Lorien revealed. Okay. Let's draw 3 cards. Do I have an artifact in the graveyard? I do. What am I missing? Lands? Okay. Alright, so let's go Seasoned Pyromancer. Discard land and Planisphere. Okay. We get to attack again with our token. Attack. And play Magda. Alright, so we got a decent board. We get to keep Otawara and Vibrance in our hand. And now it's on them to try to play something big. This time, I will let them draw the extra card. Palantir for 5. That's a lot. Alright, Overlord of the Mistmoors, sure. This is probably good enough. I mean, they're going to be able to spellbomb something here, too. Okay, they probably kept like a land on top or something. Oh, Dak Faden, huh? Oh, I can Dak Faden the Palantir. That's really nice. What do I want to do with the Vibrance? I mean, there's just like a lot here. The issue is I don't actually have a way to kill the Overlord of the Mistmoors other than just bouncing it, which is obviously also not great. But maybe it's my only option? What do I want to untap? I don't think it really matters. Because they're going to eat my token. So that... The question is, do I need to bounce this Overlord of the Mistmoors? I think I do. So they're going to block Magda and the 2-1, I guess? And then they can use Pyrite Spellbomb to kill the Pyromancer too. Alright. Okay, so now I have a really interesting decision to make. Then I can steal Palantir. I have 13 cards left. And that's going to draw me an extra card. And make it so they don't draw extra cards. Alternatively, I can steal Skull Clamp and clamp my token. I think I'm just going to steal the Palantir.
Looks like you could use a helping hand. Your
Right.
security is embarrassing.
That was really good draws. Prof's Eidetic Memory here, and Tishana's Tidebinder on the Overlord of the Mistmoors, also great. Talisman, sure. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay. Trigger on the stack. Tishana's Tidebinder. We drew Prof's Eidetic Memory. Play it. Oh, Glorybringer? Let's loot. Okay.
The looting never hurts.
That's really, really good with profs. And they just die if I do this, right? Profs onto the Glorybringer. Woo! Okay. We beat the Academy deck. They were... You know, they had some stuff, but it wasn't like as busted looking as the one that we lost to previously. But obviously they still drew Academy and we managed to fight through it. So that's obviously great. 3-2. All right, on the play. Absolutely keeping this. We got Mishra's Bauble. Turn 1. And I think I'm going to go get the... Wait, what does this do? Look at the top card of target player's library. Okay. So I can actually target myself. And if it's a good card, then I'll fetch. And if it's not, I won't. Lorien Revealed is something I don't care to draw. So let's just crack. I mean, if more like indifferent. I'd rather... I think it's more valuable to draw my... I think it's more valuable to play my blue-red tap land there. 2 cards in graveyard, so already kind of setting the stage here for the Fable. Interesting that my opponent just chose not to crack the Prismatic Vista. We'll keep the Pyrite Spellbomb around for now. Let's just play Fable. So if they're on like some kind of... I'm hoping they don't counter it, right? That's like the worst thing that they can do. A Booster Tutor for a counter would be amazing. Can you imagine if they got like a Spell Pierce off the Booster Tutor and then Vista'd for the Nyland and Spell Pierce this? I would mad props if they did. Oh, never mind. They just got an Ancestral Recall. This is where all the viewers who know that I'm not as high on Booster Tutor are like, Paul, this is why you take Booster Tutor, bro. This is why you do it, man. And I go, shrug. Scalding Tarn, all right, this is... We are battling against the good deck here. Blue-black. They have a trillion cards in hand. Bone Shards, discarding Swamp. Okay, that's not as scary. Let's discard 2 lands. Okay. Interesting. They're representing like a counterspell of some kind, which I don't love. So I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and strip mine the island. Then go to my second main. And then resolve this. To play around counterspell. Like, basically now only Spell Pierce gets me. Or Force of Will, I guess. Or Force of Negation, or whatever. Oh, Daze. Okay, sure. I mean, I strip mine them and then daze them. That's fine. Okay, let's go Iteration. I mean, if they have all the counterspells... I mean, they did cast Ancestral Recall, so whatever. Alright, Dismember. Sure. Alright, hopefully this resolves. God, this has been so... I've been hitting, like, the worst expressive iterations ever. You know, it's like you're doing this to try to hit a land, man. Finding 3 cards. I'll shuffle the Suplex back in. I'm gonna sacrifice this Spell Bomb, because I really want to hit lands. Like, I know I discarded lands there, but... You know, you just kind of play the numbers, right? And, you know, thinking that there's a really good chance I resolve Dig Through Time and the fact that I'm going to resolve Expressive Iteration, I felt like those were reason enough for me to try and discard those lands. But obviously, it's hurting me now. You know what I mean? I mean, Bone Shards in like a non-Reanimator deck. I mean, they have to be Reanimator if you're playing Bone Shards. Alright, run into their counterspell. Yeah, that's a mana drain. Yep. Here's their big turn. Yeah, I mean, things just lined up really, really poorly. Like, we tried our best, right? Like, that was a brutal, brutal days. Because we needed that Dig Through Time to resolve to be able to fight through their Ancestral Recall. Nova Hellkite instead of Hardcast Virtue. Okay. Wait, they warped it in? Three cards in hand. Fair enough. I mean, they have a very similar deck to ours. Although, wait. Nova Hellkite... Wait. Oh, they're just like full-on Grixis. Like, I assume their mana is good enough here, but it's a little bit dicey. Okay. Creeping Tar Pit. Yeah, that's a little... That's also not great. Let's kill you. I mean, we're probably dead because of the Creeping Tar Pit plus Nova Hellkite. They just didn't Tar Pit us? I guess they can play Virtue, maybe? Okay, let's go Narset.
My prowess is unmatched by my crew. I have just
Miss.
for this.
And that's game. All right, well, things happened, and we ended up with a pretty middling finish. I thought this deck was fine. Nothing super exciting, but like certainly capable of putting together a bunch of wins, but it just kind of didn't end up playing out that way. Like, you know, our deck was awfully fair, but like fair doesn't necessarily mean bad. Right? Like maybe we could have used a few more counter magic. I think we would have matched up pretty well against like an aggressive deck because we had all the good cheap interaction. We had the Force of Will, but that's kind of all we had. And we had the Fable and the Dak Faden, but we had some filler. Like, you know, the Astrologian's Planisphere and what have you. Maybe it was better to go play Splash the Black for the K command and the Kaito just because of power level. Like, I could believe that to be the case. This would have given us access to 4 black sources for 2 black cards. Maybe I have to play like a basic swamp as well, and then like shave, you know, something else. I mean, I could believe that to be the case, you know? Like, certainly we don't need all... one thing that we ran into was just like a redundance in these removal effects. So certainly could have maybe shaved on one of those, and then do something like this. Maybe cut the Planisphere. Yeah. Could have done something like that, but that wouldn't have changed the outcome really probably against the artifact deck that we lost to. This last deck, I mean, they recalled us and mana drained us and dazed us to the Stone Age. Like, that one was going to be hard to win as well. So, yeah, I mean, sometimes you just... And then the Nadu matchup was also going to be kind of tough. So, yeah, we couldn't kill some certain things. And, you know, this seems to be like the result that I typically get when I try to draft more of like a tempo-y deck that's a little bit on the fair side, instead of like, if you're hyper aggro, you can like put enough pressure on your opponent and kill them. But if you're like trying to do more of this stuff, I feel like I tend to go 4 and 3, 5 and 3 way more often. So, I mean, maybe this is like a fine thing to do, but maybe it's not something that you should be looking to do all the time. But you know what? 3 and 3, we had some decent matches. And I got to at least showcase something different this time around. Maybe tomorrow is the day where we get our trophy. And I mean, it's been a bit. It's been like 4 drafts since we got a trophy. So we got to get back to our winning ways and do some climbing. I am confident. I know that I can do it, but it's, not going to be this draft, of course. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you enjoyed this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That is patreon.com/paulcheon. Big shout out to all the patrons. Thank you so much for your support. Also, check out TCGplayer.com for all your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. They are your one-stop shop for Magic the Gathering sealed product and singles. So you want to buy some booster boxes of Strixhaven, or you want some singles for your constructed decks, check out TCGplayer.com and make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Last but not least, go to heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. They are the place to go to for top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, life pads, and much, much more. Go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon to get 10% off your first order. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.